Hello friends, and welcome to Shauna Stitches. I'm Shauna, and this is my crafty podcast where I talk about all the things I've been working on lately. Already I'm getting interrupted. I hear Cody click-clacking on the floor, so sorry about that. Anyway, this is episode 52, and today is June 24th, 2022. And Cody has come to say hello. You can just see his nose. Anyway, he's here. Yes. Discombobulated already. I am wearing the summer Sorrel. Actually, before I get into that, thank you for being here. I do appreciate everyone who's watching. If you could remember to like and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate that. Again, this is the summer Sorrel. The pattern is by Wool and Pine, and I knit this in the Knit Picks Chroma Twist fingering in the color Red Velvet, which is discontinued. The whole line of yarn is discontinued, which makes me really sad. I'll stand up. That's what it looks like. I have my show notes on my phone. That's why I have my phone in my hand. But yeah, it has a little wrinkle from being folded. I don't wear this nearly as often as I should, but since we're actually getting some nice weather, it seemed like the perfect time to pull it out, and I really do love it. I'm drinking some decaf in a very wintry alpaca or llama mug. I don't know the difference. And I use my Christmas or winter mugs all year round because they make me happy. Decaf is because I am again recording on a day that I have to start work tonight, working night shift, and I'll be taking a nap after I record. It's much harder to nap if I'm drinking caffeine. All right, I have one finished object to show you guys today, and you might have guessed it is my Oregon Shetland lace shawl. For those of you who don't know, I live in Oregon, the Oregon coast to be specific, and when I saw this on Ravelry in the hot right now or trending right now or whatever it is, I just couldn't resist based on the name alone. And I really didn't know what Shetland lace was. I guess it's a form of lace that is or was created in the Shetland Isles. I know nothing, so that's my best guess. I didn't do any research on the actual lace, but I did find that it was quite fun to knit. The only pattern modifications I did was to add extra garter rows here between chart D and the, or was it chart E? I think it was chart D and the applied lace border, which has beads. Hopefully you could see that. In all, this pattern has 1,000 beads, and I'd never beaded before. If you are scared to bead, let me just tell you, it's not hard. It's just a little bit slow and time consuming. So yeah, it ended up making a pretty decent sized shawl. I was a little worried because I am tall, I'm 5'10", and I feel like anything that's too small I don't love a whole lot. This ended up using just over 900 yards. Like I said, I did add some knitting in there to use up more of my yarn. I didn't bring my yarn cake over. I'm trying to remember how much I had left, maybe 50 or 60 grams. I still had quite a bit left. I do wish that I would have added some more repeats throughout, but in all, I'm quite happy with it. It's just so pretty. I think this is like the prettiest or fanciest thing I've ever knit. Yeah, it's just really pretty. I had Glenn take some finished object photos yesterday for me, so I'll pop in a few of those. I think they showed off a little bit better. It's a little bit hard because when it's spread out, the bottom part just gets kind of wavy, but I think you'll be able to see it better. All right, works in progress. You have seen this one before, but it has grown substantially. This is the Ripple Camisole, which I called the Ripple Cardigan last time. And I am using a yarn to die for in the Bott's Favorite Beans colorway. And I don't know, it's not too obvious, but you can tell about right here. I started helical knitting with a undyed white yarn. because I was afraid that I was going to run out. So this is the Bertie Bott's Favorite Beans color, and this is the Undyed fingering. So this matches the white spots in this absolutely perfectly. And it just spreads out, the color pops a little bit. I love this, love it. I wish I would have started helical knitting from the bottom, but I guess at the beginning I thought I might have enough yarn. If I was doing this 2 pattern, I probably would have enough yarn, but again, I'm quite tall, and I do not like my stomach showing at all. So the pattern for my size that I'm knitting, which is a 40-inch bust, which will be somewhat loose, has you knit to 13 inches, and I'm knitting to 16 or 17. I'm just now to 15 inches, so in another inch I'll try it on, because as it stretches, it's hard to tell because it's so big, but as it stretches, you lose some of that length. And again, I know I will not be happy if it doesn't completely cover my stomach, even in high-waisted pants, which is really all I wear. I'm just super self-conscious of my stomach. I don't like showing it. So just a little side note. I know that I have been shopping from my stash, both projects and yarn, but I've been a little bit naughty buying yarn lately. One of the purchases I made last night was 2 more skeins of this Bertie Bott's to pair with more of the undyed fingering that I have in stash, because I can just see this as a flax light with all these speckles. I'm going to helical knit it. It's going to be amazing. When am I going to start that? Who knows? But I couldn't resist. I do have other pretty things in my stash, but nothing quite like that. Okay, I have 2. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show you. Hold on one second. I threw it across the room, which isn't helpful. I was going to show you. I actually took the time to put in a progress keeper. So that's where I was the last time I showed you, and that's how much I've knit, which is crazy considering I finished that shawl too. It's been about a week and a half since I last recorded, so I did have some pretty good knitting time, but I'm still quite impressed. That really is flying, and I highly recommend that pattern, which is by Jessie May, I forgot to mention. All right, so the new things on my needles, which I mentioned last time I recorded, is that I have cast on for the Boxy, which looks like nothing right now. I did finish the ribbing, which is a 1x1. It's just really, with the light coming in from behind, it's super hard to show. There we go. Just a 1x1 ribbing, and the yarn I'm using is Holst Garn Supersoft in the color Marlin. I had an entire cone of this, and after washing my swatch and realizing that the yarn shrinks up in row gauge, someone suggested pre-washing all of my yarn, so I did that. I wound it off into 3 hanks or skeins and then washed it all and dried it. So this one here is the biggest, and this one is 180 grams, or at least that's what it started as. So I've already modified the pattern. The pattern has you knit like 3 rows of 1x1 ribbing. I am knitting 10, or I did knit 10. And on the last row before switching to stockinette, I modified it to slip the knits and knit the purls. And that's supposed to help with flipping up, which has been an issue that a lot of people have had. There's Rudy. It's been an issue that a lot of people have had knitting this pattern. So hopefully that will solve that, because I really don't want to go back and rip it out. My yarn's all a mess here. So yeah, this is one of my vacation knits. It's ready to go. I will probably start working on this or my other new project as soon as I'm done with that Ripple camisole. Next up is the half and half triangles wrap, which again, just a little bit of knitting, just enough so that it looks like I've gotten started. You can see how the triangle is starting to form there. It's actually, I guess it'd be like that. I don't know, now I'm confused. Yes, that's definitely the triangle side. There we go. And not much to say about this. I'm using the Purl Soho linen quill, and this is a pattern by Purl Soho. This is the recommended yarn, which I never use, and it's my first time knitting with it. I don't know how much you can see. See those tan sort of spots? That's the linen, and I've been struggling so far with wanting to pick it out when I come to it, which I know defeats the whole purpose, so I'm trying to be good. You can really see some of it's a bit chunky, but overall the yarn is very soft. I'm sure it gets even softer after it's washed. And again, this is a very mindless knit. It will be coming on vacation with me. I have no delusions that I will finish either of these while on vacation, but I'm excited to have some options, especially with that really bright color. That just screams Mexico weather to me. All right, so on to upcoming plans. If you all haven't seen that, Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits, it's hard to say, DRK, she's doing a knit it to spin it along again, but this time for the weekender. And this is going to be my motivation to pick up this project that I have been working on for a while now. And this is a combo spin. I'll pop in some pictures. It's a combo spin I started almost a year ago, and I have over 600 grams of fiber. That is a nest fiber, advent calendar, and some other braids from my stash. And I have been knitting on it. I've been spinning on it, but not very much. I finished the first two pretty quickly on my Eel Wheel 6, electric eel wheel. But I haven't worked on it quite some time. I am spinning 105 grams onto each bobbin. There'll be a total of 6 bobbins. And I haven't decided whether this will be a 2-ply or a 3-ply yet. Both should give me about a fingering weight, but what will determine it is whether or not, or how much yardage I think I will get. So I'm going to do something I never do when I spin, which is to sample. So once all 6 bobbins are spun up, I will do a 3-ply sample and a 2-ply sample, and then I will calculate my grist, which is an estimation of the total yardage that you would get in a pound, and I have over a pound of fiber. So using some pretty simple math, I should be able to calculate out about how much I would get. And depending on yardage will be a factor as to whether or not I 2-ply or 3-ply, and then also just the look of the yarn. If it's too muddy with 3-ply, I might go with a 2-ply. So that's my plan, and I'll be spinning for the Weekender Light because my singles are quite thin. I have not knit the Weekender Light pattern, but I have knit the Weekender, which is a pattern I really love. It's something that I started knitting on and then really stalled out, and it sat in my whips forever. And once I finished it, it's probably my most worn sweater, or right up there. The other one that I have worn a lot is my no frills sweater, but those two by far are my most worn. So let's see. We went through finished objects, works in progress very quickly. Now we're just going to talk about a little bit of life stuff, not a whole lot. We have finally been getting some beautiful summer weather here, which you all are going to laugh, especially if you're from somewhere warm, but we've been having like mid-60s and it's been wonderful. I know that sounds cold, but you know, one day I was wearing a tank top. It was just so nice to actually see the sun. We've had nothing but rain so far up until just days ago. So Glenn and I took some time and took the dogs for a walk over at Fort Stevens State Park, which is not far from me. And we also yesterday went golfing, which I'm not a golfer, but I actually had a good time. It can be really frustrating. Sometimes I would swing and completely miss the ball, but I had a few good hits and that made me happy. So we didn't keep score, which also made me happy because, yeah, par, what's that? No way I was even going to come close to par. Other than that, life stuff, I'm coming up on my busiest time of year at work, which is a bummer. 4th of July used to be my absolute favorite holiday as a kid. It was just so fun. I loved fireworks, and now I feel the complete opposite. I hate it. I loathe this holiday. I can't wait till I don't work in this profession anymore to have to deal with it, or at least not in this area, because it's scary. People just get out of control. People have fireworks go off in their hands and shoot them at other people, and you just can't be responsible. And then you mix alcohol with all that, and it's a nightmare. So the way my work schedule works is I pretty much work every other weekend. So as I mentioned, I'm coming into a work weekend. I'll be working tonight, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I'll have Monday off. So that means that I should have next weekend off, except that we're leading up to 4th of July, and I will not have the weekend off. I get one day off. Now I get next Friday off, and then I work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I'm going to be exhausted. There's really not going to be much crafting time, and that means that my podcast will probably be delayed more so than usual. Which is a bummer. I really enjoy my crafting time, and it helps me relax. Other than that, we're just looking forward to our vacation that's coming up, and we have planned a camping trip for around my birthday. We did a camping trip for my birthday last year also, and it's becoming sort of a tradition. It's just a really fun time to get away and unplug, so I'm really looking forward to that. Other than that, I don't have any big news, so this has been a quick one, and I appreciate you checking in and following along with my progress. I'll see you as soon as I can record next when I actually have some progress. It might be 2 weeks this time. All right, I hope you guys are having a great day whenever you're watching this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.